My name is Brad Shively. This is my wife, Jennifer. We've been attending First Baptist Church now for almost 3 years. The experience that we've had since we've been attending has been excellent. The families that we've connected with, the community that we get through the church, but also the message that we get every Sunday has been something where we couldn't be happier with our experience here. So I came to know Christ a long time ago when I was a 7-year-old child. I had actually been invited by a friend to go to a youth group service on a Wednesday night. And at that service, I remember we had an opportunity to cheer as loud as we could to win a prize. And at the end of the service, I ended up winning the prize. And so I was really thrilled about that. I came home that night and I showed that prize to my father, and then he ended up using that as an opportunity to talk about the ultimate prize, which is salvation, and explained how it is that we can come to know Christ and how we can be saved. And that night, at 7 years old, in our living room, I accepted Christ as my Savior.
Growing up as a child, I lived in a Christian home. We didn't attend church very often, but I had a grandmother who was very deep in her faith. And so because of that, she took me to church on Sundays. She taught me a lot about Jesus and praying. And then when I got to know Brad and his family, I attended church with him. And there just happened to be one special Sunday where John Blodgett was speaking. And I decided to give my life to Christ that day.
So you were 19?
I was 19, so...
About 23 years ago.
Yeah.
We had been attending another church, and we had been there for several years at that point. We had our daughters, who I believe were about 4 years old and 7 years old at that time. That church was going through a season of change with respect to its leadership, and one of the concerns that we had is we didn't feel that our daughters were connecting in Sunday school like we would have really preferred. And so we thought, you know what, we've been invited by multiple families to try out First Baptist Church. Maybe we should try that out. Maybe we should see if there's a door opening there that makes sense to walk through. And so we did. We went over to First Baptist Church. We had put our girls in the Sunday school program, and then we went into the sanctuary, and Pastor Phil had noticed us in the sanctuary and made a point to come over and greet us, and it was a very welcoming, very warm experience. But one thing that really hit us was when we came out of that service and we had gone back to the Sunday school to pick up our girls, and they came out and they had this look of enthusiasm we had not seen. And they told us how much they enjoyed it, how much fun they had, and asked if we could come back, if we could continue going to First Baptist Church. And so it was at that moment that it clicked that this feels right. This feels like a great place to be.
It was actually just a year ago here at what's called Summer Bash, where I got baptized. I wanted to show my daughters that that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to show the church and God. And so I made that decision, and it happened on our 18th wedding anniversary. So it was a little special.
We've had the opportunity not only to recommit and reinvest in ourselves and our relationship with Christ, but also then in seeing that with our children as well. They do certainly come back from Sunday school or from church with the stories that they learn, and we see them trying to apply that in their lives.
They really know and understand the Bible. They have Bible verses that they have to do every week, and they really they know those, and they need to know those. And then it's funny because sometimes when they sit in the service with us and Phil will say a certain Bible verse, our oldest will be like, oh, I just did that one. And so it's a good connection.
For us, First Baptist Church has been exactly the church that we've been looking for. And by being plugged into the church, we are regularly with other believers who can support us in our walk with Christ, who can help us strengthen our faith, and who can hold us accountable as we're moving through our faith journey. And I can't overstate the importance of having that connection and that community.